whispers are true. Names that are legendary. StockLegends.com.
Hello traders, StockLegends.com. Today we're going to look at PVSP for December 9th, 2011. This is going to be an exciting play over the weekend going into Monday. Everyone should be taking a look at this stock. Go to StockLegends.com where the whispers are true and the gains are legendary, and make sure you go to our current highlight where you can read the in-depth research report on PVSP. Will be up shortly here during the weekend. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter by clicking join the conversation at StockLegends.com, and also make sure you join our newsletter, because as you can see, our last 7 alerts are up almost 600%. So be sure you guys are not missing out on any of these great gains. So let's go back to the technicals. I've got a daily chart and a weekly chart I'm going to show you guys. So this is the daily chart, goes back about 6 months. What we can see since the beginning of August is the stock's been in a downtrend. This red trend line is our resistance. It's pushing the prices lower, and until we break this level, we should continue to see lower prices. Now, we did have a breakout here, and this reverses the overall pattern from a downtrend into an uptrend. So we have a breakout, and now we can see the stock is starting to move up very smoothly in a nice straight line. This is our trend support, pushing the prices up higher. And it had a little bit of I'm not sure what you'd really want to call it, a fat finger trade or whatever. Someone dropped some shares and the market makers seemed to have missed the ball. Had a very quick dip here and closed near the high of the day. So we're not going to count this particular candle as breaking the trend support. Does appear positive that the momentum does remain to the upside. We have a lot of indicators to also confirm that. So we do have the RSI, which is continuously trending upwards. You can see that it's around 76 here. Now, we don't really have any oversold points that we can sort of compare at in the past, considering on our daily chart the stock's pretty much always been in a downtrend over the last 6 months. So what we want to watch for is that the RSI doesn't move below this support trend, the price doesn't move or close below this support trend line here, and we want to make sure volume remains strong. If you notice, right at the breakout point, you can see that volume really started to pick up. A lot of buying interest here. So provided we have continuously strong volume, the stock should continue to remain in an uptrend. If you see volume drop for 2 or 3 days and there's no buying pressure and the stock just is moving sideways, that could be the signal we could have a pullback. We don't see any of that at this particular point in time. Also, money flow is incredibly positive. You can see also the money flow gave an early warning signal that a breakout was going to be coming around the corner. You can see over the entire downtrend, the money flow, this is the CMF, it's the chalk and money flow. So basically you can see we got an early buy signal here, and the money flow continues to remain positive. So provided the money flow doesn't dip below that 0 signal line, we should remain in an upward trend. Also, you can see the stochastics, the STO is continuously trending up. Accumulation also moving up as well, where we may have some resistance, could possibly be at around 2.5 cents. You can see it was previously a support and then a resistance here, and we also had a little bit of resistance up in this area. 2.5 to 3 cents in this general vicinity is basically probably going to be the next resistance point, considering we close at 19 cents. Certainly have a ways to go, almost for another double as a possibility before we even start to hit resistance. So a very positive sign there. If we take a look at our long-term chart, I do want to point out we do have support right around 1 cent. You can see it was a long-term support here. So if we do see a pullback, we could possibly look for a re-entry around the 1 cent level. Also around 5 cents at our low, and 6 cents here are also some possible support levels. But we're not going to worry about that right now because the stock is trending up. We can also look at our weekly chart. This looks positive as well. We can see basically the stock had been in a long-term downtrend. Now this goes back over 2 months, or sorry, over 2 years. We had one breakout here right around the May of 2011. Now the characteristic of this run is different than what we're seeing here on the run we're seeing on this breakout point. Now there's two things to keep in mind. One, volume was a lot more explosive back then, and the run was much more volatile. And you can see that the run only lasted about 2 candles, which is about 2 weeks in trading, and then the run was over. We ended up back into a downtrend. But you can also see the volume was very explosive. On this time, what we're seeing is a gradual increase in volume, and that is a more sustaining sort of an upward trend, because we don't want the stock to run too fast too quick, because then we have a pullback. So what we have here is a nice stable rising upward trend here. You can see it on the weekly chart, the breakout point, and the stock's moving up in a nice uptrend. You can see volume is increasing, very healthy. You can see this is the 20 weekly moving average volume, and we've just broken above it. You can see whenever the volume is above this 20 weekly moving average, it's pretty much in an uptrend, or right here you can see it. Here was a 1 week sort of spike as we got a little oversold, but here now we can see volume is breaking out past the average weekly volume, also a very positive sign. We can look at the STO again for upward trends. Whenever we can see the STO sort of moving up, that's indicating an upward trend. You can see the volume here was really minimal, so we didn't really have too much of a price run. On this particular move, you can see the STO is moving up, a lot of volume, very fast price run. Here we've got STO moving up, mediocre average volume. It's certainly not weak, it's very strong, and you can see a nice steady uptrend, which is what we really like to see, and it's really easy for traders to make money here. And you can also see that on all of these instances where the STO is moving up, the stock's in an upward trend. Also, you could look for any crossover point here for an exit in the future if you wanted to look at the weekly chart for a more long-term perspective for an exit point. That's the analysis. Thanks very much for watching. I hope everyone's making money with stocklegends.com, and we'll see you on the trading floor.